So hello everybody, and we're going to do another JASS initiative today, and we're going to do an Italian dish. We're going to do penne pasta with Bolognaise. Okay, so we have our penne pasta, which is this one here. We have 2 peppers, a red and green pepper. We have 2 onions. We have some garlic. We're not going to use all the garlic, we're just going to use 2 cloves of garlic. So this is a bulb of garlic, so we're probably going to use about 2 cloves. Okay, this is our mushrooms, and this is our mince. Our mince was €2 a pack in Dunnes Stores. And we have our tomato sauce, and this is a Balloon organic pasta sauce, and it's nice. We have our pesto, our basil pesto, and again we're not going to use all of it, we're just going to use a teaspoon of basil. And then we have our chives just for our garnishing and just for the make dish look very attractive. Okay, so again, penne pasta, we have our mince here, okay, our beef mince, and we have our green red pepper, we have our onions, and we have our garlic, we have our mushrooms, we have our chives, our pesto, and our tomato sauce, our Balloon organic tomato sauce. So all the ingredients here, as you can see, would probably cost about 14 euros. The products can be bought in Dunnes Stores. So we're going to make 4 portions of penne pasta with mince Bolognaise. Okay, thank you. So as you can see here, we just have to start in the prep on our vegetables. We've peeled our onions. Okay, we've cut our peppers in half and taken the pips out of the green and the red peppers. We've peeled about this amount of garlic. This is a clove of garlic, so we've peeled the garlic. The garlic is going to be crushed, and our mushrooms are washed. Okay, so the next step is we're going to finely dice our onions, our peppers. We're going to crush our garlic, and we're going to slice our mushrooms. So here we are, we're still in the preparation process. We have our onions diced up, we have our garlic crushed, and we have our green and red peppers diced, and we have our mushrooms sliced. Okay, so again, our onions are chopped up, diced, our garlic is crushed with our garlic crusher, our green and red peppers are diced up, and then our mushrooms are sliced. Okay, so we're ready now to start the cooking process. So here we are, we've only put half, the bag of pasta is 500 grams, so we've only used half the bag, which is 250 grams of pasta. We place the pasta shells into a pot. We're going to use, we're just going to put a tablespoon of olive oil into the pasta before we add the water to stop the pasta from sticking. Okay, so we're just going to put some olive oil into the pot. Okay, and what we're going to do is then we're just going to give the pasta a bit of a stir to make sure that the pasta doesn't stick. Okay, so just put a bit of olive oil there in the pasta. Okay, so we've put the kettle on, the kettle has boiled. Okay, so we're going to add the boiling water and cover our pasta with the boiling water. Okay, just going to fill the pot up to 3/4 full. We want to give it loads of space, and we're going to give it another stir. Okay, so what we're going to do is then we're going to add some salt, some sea salt. As you can see here, the sea salt, just a sprinkle of sea salt into the pasta. Okay, we place the pasta and the boiling water onto the gas, and then we're going to turn the gas on. We're going to bring the pasta to the boil, and then what we're going to do then, we're going to put the pasta on simmer then for about 20 minutes. Okay, so pasta is going to come to the boil. We're going to lower down the gas and put the pasta on simmer and cook it out for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. and then we're going to wash the pasta off in cold water. Okay, so our pasta now is simmering away. We've just lowered down the heat or the gas on the pasta, and we're just going to give it another stir just to make sure that it doesn't stick together. It's always very important to keep stirring the penne pasta or the spaghetti just to make sure that it doesn't stick together, because if you don't stir it, it will stick together. Okay, so in the meantime what we've done is we've put on our big pot, and we're heating up our pot now for to fry off our mince. Okay, so what we're going to do is now we're going to add some olive oil, just a drizzle of olive oil into the pot, and we're just letting the oil heat up. As you can see there, the gas is on, so we're just going to let that heat up, and then what we're going to do is then we're going to add in our mince. Okay, so we're just going to let that heat up, and you can hear the lovely sizzle of the mince there from the hot pot. Okay, so we've added our mince in. So what we're going to do is we're going to give our mince a good stir. We're going to brown it off to make sure that the mince is cooked. Okay, so our mince is on. You can hear it sizzling away. We're going to add in some salt in from it. Okay, and what we're going to do is as well, we're going to add in our garlic. Okay, so we're going to add in our garlic to infuse the flavour of the mince. Okay, so we're going to let that cook away, and we'll come back to it when it's cooked. So there we go, we're just after cooking our mince off for about 10 minutes there. You can see the colour there, the beef is nice and brown. So what we're going to do is we're just going to lower the heat down and just let it simmer away in its own juices. In the meantime, the pasta is done. The pasta's after being on for 20 minutes, so that's what the pasta will look like when it's done. So what we're going to do with the pasta now is we're going to strain it, and we're going to run cold water on it. Okay. So here you can see we're just after straining our pasta in a colander. Okay. And what we're doing is we're washing all the starch out of the pasta. Okay, so we just give it a stir and wash all the we're washing all the starch off, and we're cooling the pasta down. So we're giving it a good shake here. Okay, so we're going to cool that down, wash off all the starch. Okay, and then the pasta then is ready. We're just going to strain all the water off the pasta and put it to one side then. Okay, so we're just going to put the pasta we're just returning to our mince now. So our mince, we're going to take our mince out of the pot, and we're just going to put it to one side, and we're going to start putting the sauce together by frying off the onions, the peppers and the mushrooms. Okay, so we're going to turn off the heat on our mince. We're going to put our mince to one side in the container, and then we're going to start putting the sauce together. We've taken our mince out of the pot. We've just put it to the side here in the container. So what we're going to do is now we just have our pot, with all the sediments in here heating back up. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some olive oil again to fry off our vegetables. Okay, so the pots we're going to saute off our onions, our peppers and our mushrooms. Okay, so the pot is nice and sizzling now, so we're going to add in our vegetables. So as you can see here, our pot is sizzling, and we've added in our onions, our peppers and our mushrooms. Okay, and we're just going to let them saute off for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to add in our mince. Okay, so we have our mince is over here relaxing, and we have our pasta, which is well strained, that's relaxing as well, just getting all the excess water off the pasta. Okay, so everything is starting to take shape. So as you can see here, our onions, our mushrooms and mushrooms and peppers are after cooking away, so they're just nice now. They're cooked enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in our mince into the pot. Okay, with all the juices, we've captured the garlic flavour in the mince. Okay, So we're just going to give it a good stir, as you can see here. Just give it a good stir up. Okay, let it cook away there in its lovely natural juices. And what we're going to do is now we're going to add in 2 teaspoons of pesto. Okay, that's going to give it a lovely basil and herb flavour to our sauce. Okay, so we have our onions, mushrooms, peppers, garlic, mince, and we also have our pesto in here as well. So we're just going to let that cook away for another 5 minutes, constantly stirring it that it doesn't stick to the bottom. Just to concentrate and focus on when you're at this stage. Don't walk away and leave it, because there's a possibility that you could burn it. So you just want it nice and juicy, and you just want to keep it stirring and keep it moist. Okay, as you can see there, it's cooking away nicely. You can see all the colours there, the onions, the red and green peppers, and the mushrooms there in the pot. So everything is cooking away nicely. So what we're going to do is now we're going to add in our sauce, our tomato sauce. Okay, so we're just going to add it in. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're just going to stir it. Okay, we're going to give it a good stir, and we're going to let our sauce come to the boil, and then we're going to put it on simmer then for about 20 minutes. So we're just more or less 30 minutes into the process now of cooking. Our pasta is cooked, our minced beef and our Bolognaise sauce now is starting to come together. So we're just going to let the mince cook out for another 20 minutes, so it captures all the flavours of the sauce. So it's to the boil now. So what we're going to do is now we're going to put it on simmer. Here we are. Our sauce is cooking away. It's been cooking away there for about 20 minutes. So we're more or less there now with our sauce. You can see the colour of the mince has changed to red with the tomato sauce. You can see we've captured the flavours of our garlic, our onions, our peppers and our mushrooms, and you can see that there's a nice bit of colour going on there in the pot. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn off the Bolognaise sauce and just let it set for a few minutes. So another very important part of the process is heating up the pasta. Okay, so what we're going to do is we have our pot is heated. Okay, we're going to add some olive oil into the pot, just a dribble. Okay, what we have here now is we have 2 ounces of butter. Okay, so we're going to gently melt the butter in the pot. Okay, we don't want the colour, so we can just take the butter off the heat and we're just going to stir it. Okay, we don't want the butter to go brown or discolour, we just want it to just melt. Okay, so we're melting our butter away here. Okay, you can see we're melting it here. I'm just going to let it melt away gently. Okay, just let it melt away there gently. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add in our pasta that has been pre-cooked. So our pasta has been resting and it's cooked and all the excess water is off it. So what we're going to do is now we're going to add our pasta into the butter, and we're going to give it a good stir. Okay, we're going to just turn a gentle heat up you know, underneath the pasta and keep stirring it. So it's very important, we're just heating up. We don't want to overcook the pasta, we don't want it to burn. So generally this process with this amount of pasta would normally take about 2 minutes. Okay, so you can see the olive oil and butter combined together, and it's after giving a lovely shine to the pasta. Okay, so the trick is when you're doing Bolognaise is to continuously keep stirring the sauce so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pot, and the same with the pasta. Okay, so we're just heating up the pasta, we're stirring it, and we want to get it to you know, a hot, you know, we want it hot. Okay, so our pasta is nearly ready, our Bolognaise sauce is ready. So what we're going to do is now we're going to start putting the cooked dish together. There we go, we can hear that sizzling noise, so we know that our pasta is hot enough to cook, okay? So we're going to use like a spatula kind of spoon for serving up our pasta, and then we have a ladle for putting our sauce. So some people like to serve their penne pasta and bolognese on a plate, and then some people like to serve it in a bowl. So I'm going to do both, okay? So basically what you do is you just put the pasta, there we go, spread it out, okay, on the plate, and the same with the bowl. Just the bowl here. Okay, generally that's about a portion there of in a bowl. That's generally a portion there on a plate. So what we're going to do is we're going to ladle our bolognese sauce, just to land it in the middle. Okay, so we're just landing our sauce in the middle of the pasta. Okay, we're just going to move that to one side. The exact same thing now with the plate. Okay, so there you go. Just going to land the bolognese sauce with the mince and vegetables right in the middle. Okay, so there we go. There's a portion in a bowl and a portion in a plate. Okay, so what we're going to do is we have some Parmesan cheese. Some people like Parmesan cheese. Some people don't like Parmesan cheese, but we're going to sprinkle some Parmesan cheese just on the top of our pasta, just to give it a flavour. Okay, just a sprinkle. Okay, and then we have some chives here, some dried chives that we've had in our press. So we're just going to sprinkle the chives over the dish, just to give it a little bit of colour. So there we go. We have a lovely rustic penne pasta with bolognese sauce. Okay, so roughly that is after taking about an hour to cook. Again, we cooked our pasta, our mince, our sauce, and again we prepared and heated everything back up again. So there we go, there's a lovely penne bolognese dish, and it can be served for lunch or it can be served for dinner.